I am the great-grandson of the revivalist Seth Joshua. I suppose I may be a son of revival. I carry a history in my blood that I never asked for, but it's there, unmovable, the weight of its impact on my shoulders. To see such a testament to his faith captured in a building so big and so beautiful, to know that this place was filled with people who hung on every word he spoke. Because God spoke through him, and he knew God was in him. Seth was from my mother's side, and my grandmother was one of 4 daughters that he had. Seth is somebody I've never met. I never met him. I don't know what Seth prayed for, what Frank prayed for the future. All I know is that there have been huge battles down, and I'm not saying most families have battles, but there has been quite a lot of battles down the lines of Seth's generations. But they fought the good fight, as they say. And, Seth was a boxer, strong, as it said in the book. Seth used to knock him down and Frank used to pick him up. Seth was a man who listened. When God had something to say, he would stop and make sure he made space for such revelations. When I sit in the same places of the Joshua brothers' places of contemplation before the Lord, I understand it was always with a view of their town in mind, their people, how best they could give their lives away. Now, how do I give mine? So I guess I'm at a point that I'm finding this information about Seth and Frank and the work that they did in the run-up to the Welsh Revival and the work they did during and after the Welsh Revival. And I guess this leaves me in a place of, I don't feel worthy myself of, being connected to them in that sense. I'm just me. I'm no one special. I'm just an ordinary bloke who happens to be a Christian and is trying to walk that walk, I guess knowing that Frank and Seth were such great men in God's kingdom and did so much for so many thousands of people and saved so many lives, spiritually and physically, I guess is a humbling experience. Sometimes you have to hold history in your hands to understand that there is also a now, that past is past, and there is still much to be done. Seth lived for the day, embracing its challenges with a resounding, undignified love that people would still speak of today. His eyes capture the mischief in his soul and the grace in his heart. I've gazed at his face many a time in a picture and asked myself, what was it that caused a humble man to devote himself to Wales? But bit by bit, my heart is falling in love with a place I still call home. Wales, oh Wales, you are taking my soul. It may be a small, maybe forgotten place, but the Lord's eyes are still upon it, waiting for its people to rise up again. Maybe this mission hall will have something to do with it again. Revival is still here after all. So yeah, I guess there is a weight on I feel there's a weight on my shoulders. I feel I don't like necessarily being in the spotlight. It's not comfortable for me. I can't, as I keep saying, I can't change who they were. I guess all I can do is I can look at what they did and only hope in a tiny little way that I can change something in this world a little bit, just to be able to say, I pick somebody up off the pavement or I save somebody from whatever. I guess that's just my little contribution, really. But it's great to know that this place is so alive, and I certainly feel that I have a part to play here. As these walls still echo with promises not yet fulfilled, but an inheritance that, dare I say, is mine. Not so much a building, but the heart to see God move here,
is still here, burning in me, despite my unworthiness to carry such blood of someone so great. But I know that inside of me is something greater, Jesus himself. So how can I carry this load? Well, Jesus does. Jesus fights for this town, these people, this church. All Seth did was fall in love with the very things God loved. Will I love these things too? Choices surround us every day. Some decisions easy, some hard. But choices are important. Seth and Frank made their choices. They were good ones. But now, like us all, I have to make mine. Will I make a mark in this world that people will still be talking about in 100 years? Will I be the faceless man who was no big deal, yet would change the course of a place and people? I suppose I am a son of revival.